you.
Hi, my name is Doogie White. I'm lead singer with Tank, and we're here on ZaragonTV, which, this is the debut of the channel. So this is fantastic. I feel very honoured to be doing this, the first guy on ZaragonTV. Good luck with it. I'm sure it'll be brilliant.
Here we go.
I've got a great affinity with Sweden for a number of reasons. One of them being that my wife's family is from Uppsala, and one of my dearest friends, Pontus Norgren, is from Stockholm and plays with Hammerfall, and I met Pontus years ago, and I've always enjoyed it here, you know, because it's such a. And I was talking with the guys when we were flying in today, and you just fly over, coming into Gothenburg. And I was looking out and you could see the frozen lakes, but everything was starting to grow again. And I just thought, do you know what? This is just the best job in the world, you know. When you look at that kind of stuff, it's just fantastic. And the audiences over here have been great from when I started doing this. You know, it's always just brilliant.
So maybe we should done this interview in Swedish instead.
My Swedish is limited very much to swear words and ordering beer.
Which is most useful?
Fy fan.
What have you heard about Zaragon, the rock club, before you came here?
Well, it's got a very good reputation. What I like about the Swedish clubs is that the PA systems are great. The crew guys that are putting it all together are great, and they all know what they're doing. You know, there's some places you go and you just walk in and it's, oh God, it's hell. But over here, it's just fantastic all the time.
How did it feel to take over after Algy? Algy was part of the band from the beginning.
Well, I never saw it as that. I came to Tank because Mick Tucker and I wrote some songs for my solo album, and then he said that Tank had been offered some festivals in Europe, but Algy couldn't do it because Algy has, I think it's tinnitus, something like that, so he can't play live. And he said, do you fancy doing it? And I said, okay. So that's the reason I came. I mean, I'm not trying to replace Algy in any way, because I mean, the guy's a legend. You know, he's half the songs, more than half the songs we're playing tonight, he wrote. You know, so he's a legend. But you have to have a point where you say, either the new metal fans get to hear these songs played, or they don't. And as always, there's always people on the internet having a go, thinking that we're doing it for money. Trust me. There's no money involved in this. I'm here because it's fun. I'm here because I like the guys. The songs are great. We've written War Machine, which was a brilliant album. We're writing War Nation, and in the studio now. I was in the studio on Monday, and I did 3 songs. We're doing it because we want to keep the name Tank alive. If we don't do it, who's going to do it, you know?
So I got a question from Pete right here. How did you guys change the way you write new material since Doogie joined the band?
Well, I think what's happened now is we've the 3 of us have been involved in it, and we just pass the ideas about. And
yeah, we can experiment a bit more. I mean, before the band had to write in a certain style to suit Algy's vocal, but now with Doogie, it means we can really kind of broaden the sound there. We can experiment with different styles, which is more the way we always wanted to go anyway. So it's really sort of, it's kind of open up a bit. We're not afraid to sort of try different ideas now, and you can hear that on the last album, War Machine. Every track, it's different. It's not just one the same sort of style all the way through. There's different styles, different influences of music in there. Yeah, everything that we all listen to individually. Stuff from the 70s, 80s, right up till now. There's a lot of really sort of different sort of vibes going on there. And the same now. We just developed that now with the next album, War Nation. We're just going to take it a step further. So we're not sounding like a dated 80s band. Even though we love that style of music, we don't want to be pigeonholed into that.
I mean, we could have got a bass player, vocalist, but we just want to get totally away from that.
That's it. Yeah, now it's much more fun doing it as well.
What was interesting was that when we started playing live, the first show we ever played was Sweden Rock, and just because the guys play so well, it just. Even the old songs and the new songs, they just blended together. It was just a cake mix. It was just fantastic. And no one seems to have noticed there are line-up changes. Nobody seems to be bothered that there are line-up changes. And we're just working it, and having fun.
What can you tell us about the new album right now? How far have you come?
It's we're recording it now, so drums and vocals down for I think 6 songs now, guitars going down. So just like the schedule's been pretty busy, isn't it?
We've got a few gigs coming in as well. So
yeah,
we're just working around that. So.
That's it. With the shows coming in, DVD we film next week as well. So there's another show to film next. We've had to rehearse for that. And so Doogie's been away with doing other projects as well. So it's getting everyone together to try and get the album done. But it's sounding really good. The songs, every one is a great song. So we're looking forward to hopefully some point next month we'll have it done, ready to go.
Ready.
So we're working as hard as we can on that.
I got a question from Constantine right here. Will you continue to experiment with orchestral sounds like you did in the After All track?
It's just basically the track wasn't, when we actually demoed it up, it wasn't actually happening, and we put the orchestra on the end just to try and give it a lift. That's what happened with that. But I think on this album, we just no need for it. We're just going to stick to just all guitar driven.
Yeah, we won't rule anything out. So we like to experiment. So you never. But yeah, I don't think there's a track on there that needs it on this one.
No.
We definitely did on After All.
Yeah, because on the demo, it just
needed something in there. And put an orchestra on it again.
And it just
on a Tank album.
Yeah, it was a bit of
why not?
A bit radical.
But it worked.
Yeah, it did. I thought it was good.
I got a question from Jimmy right here. What track from War Machine seems to get the best response while playing live?
When we played Sweden Rock in 2009, I think it was, we did Phoenix Rising, and that was the first song that Mick and I wrote together for Tank, and it just went down brilliantly because it's got a great guitar riff, da 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 da. And you point and you go and sing it now, and it's such a simple riff, but they all started singing it, and so they've done it at every show so far. And I really think that Phoenix Rising and Judgment Day are just great songs. In 10 years' time, when I'll be 62 then. I'm 52 now. Can you believe that? Shit. Those will be 2 of the songs that people will sing along with. So.
You guys have a live DVD. You're working on a live DVD. What can you tell us about it right now?
I can't tell you anything because we go to Poland next week to shoot it. So. All I can hope is that on the night, and it's always because that just adds the pressure, if you do a 3-month tour, you can film every show and then you can pick the best bits. This is going to be one night, one performance. God, I hope it goes all right. But you never know, And there's nothing, and the thing is that there's nothing we can do about it. If we go in there to Warsaw, we play the show. It gets filmed. If we fuck it up, there's nothing we can do. That's it. It's there. It's done.
Tank was part of the Metallica Ride the Lightning tour. back in 1984. Do you have any special memories from the tour?
We haven't got a lot yet.
It was great, because I mean the first show we did with them was in France. We showed up there and they were sound checking, and we'd heard some of their stuff before, but then seeing them in the sound check, and the sound was just like, so what the fuck is this? It's like, they had big walls of Mesa Boogie amps there, and the sound was just it was
big,
just big. That's the first time I heard that big Metallica metal wall of sound. That was it, and Hetfield's rhythm sound. It was just like, fuck, it's like, what is this? And they were great, nice guys. We partied with them a lot.
Really well.
Yeah,
they looked after us. They were
really
good sound checks, lights.
That's it. I mean, the whole setup. We had really good management. Obviously, Peter Mensch, Bernstein were managing. Great road crew. They had the label behind them. We had nothing.
we were penniless.
we travelled around in this little van. That's it. We had nothing. We were in sleeping bags in the back of the van. No hotels or anything.
Yeah, great.
But it was good. Yeah, good memories from them.
Yeah, it was about a 6-week tour back to back. I think they had 2 nights off, which was.
They've done well for themselves now.
Yeah, good luck to them.
Could you ever believe that they would reach where they are right now?
They had some, the minute we heard them, I knew they were going to be big.
The crowd reaction, those in them, it was like arenas, the sports arenas were playing, and the crowds, it's like, so these guys are. But they meant it. Back then, they really meant what they were living what they were doing. They were really into their music, and the whole thing of being on the road and together. It was good.
Yeah, because in the 90s they changed their sound a little bit, and a lot of fans were let down. Yeah. Have you ever been pushed that direction by a label or something to change your sound to reach to a broader audience?
Yeah, we've always done what we want.
Yeah, we've always kind of. I mean, we've our standards a bit. We've just developed our sound there. We haven't completely changed the direction. It's still just rock. Twin guitars, rock. So we've never sort of wandered too far from that.
So we try just to change the sort of direction a bit, Because we've got Doogie on vocals, so it's we may as well use his voice,
What inspired you to start singing from the beginning, and how come you chose the heavy metal scene?
I heard Lazy. I used to go to church on us every Sunday, and we would go, and on Saturday nights we would have something called a youth club, and we would go, and there would be little annexes off here, where the guys would go, and little annexes off where the girls would go, and the girls would go and do whatever they did. I never was allowed in there because, we were too scared. But every week, you got your pocket money, so you'd go in, and the $2.99, and I'd take in The Man Who Sold the World, and my mate Kenny Johnson would come in, and he would bring in Deep Purple. And the other Kenny Johnson would bring in Genesis, and I never got the prog rock thing. But I just remember hearing Lazy and Made in Japan, and I thought, this is just amazing. And it never changed from there. I was a Bowie fan, and I still am a David Bowie fan. But when I heard Richie's guitar playing and Ian Gillan screaming and Pacey playing, the whole thing was just amazing for me. What
bands do you see will carry the heavy metal in the future?
Well, to be truthful, I go to see a lot of bands, and I haven't seen anything coming out that's new, that's really just kind of traditional metal. There's a lot of bands a bit more sort of heavier, a bit more extreme, and it's more about like the show and the sound. The song-wise, you can't hear any songs for a lot of these bands, so they're putting all these albums out, and songs are just kind of meaningless, really. So there's none of these. There's no sort of real classic albums that stand, at the top there. But for traditional metal bands, in London, I haven't seen anything. It's kind of dying out a little bit. That's why everyone's still going to see the Judas bands, Priest are up there still. Yeah. There you go. Every song is a classic, and they're bigger now than they've ever been, I think. We've got Richie Faulkner on guitar. He's an amazing player, and he's really brought them up there again. And now the band, they're awesome. So they're still doing it. Obviously, it would have been the Sabbath reunion, which ain't going to happen. People want to see this stuff because they've got back catalogues of great songs. And that's at the end of the day.
No one's actually writing songs like that.
Yeah, no one's coming out with songs like that anymore.
So what do you think will happen in 10 or 20 years? Will it die out, or what will happen?
Well, I mean, yeah. Once all these bands,
There's no one
they
there to
can't
take the
tour.
place, is there?
Yeah, once these guys die out, I mean, all these bands. You know, once AC/DC are gone, Sabbath are gone, Priest. You know, see how long they go on for. And once those, I mean, those are the great bands. That's it. Once they're gone, you know, I mean, you know, you're not going to get just one member of the band. Well, maybe you will have one member going out as that band, but then everyone will complain it's not the original line-up. And you know, Thin Lizzy going out without Phil. I don't care. I mean, I'm a massive Fizzy. But to still see, I mean, you know, it's not with Phil in it, but they're still out there. You've got Scott Gorham there. They're playing the songs. Yeah. It is what it is. I mean, you know, would you rather have them not do anything at all? So, you know, all these bands are still going, but at some point, it's all going to stop, and you think...
There's a lot of tribute acts as well getting in.
You think, what's on that next level? Once these bands are gone, what is coming up below that? And there's not a lot to me.
Are there any good bands that are coming up that you can see will carry it on, of the new bands right now? You can be honest and say no, it's cool.
I can't think of any. I'm sure there probably are out there, but I can't think of anyone who's doing that style of music to that quality. No, nothing young, nothing new, which is a shame.
Well, it's up to the next generation. What's interesting, because when I play with Tank, because it's in clubs, the younger audience can't get in there because of the licensing laws. But what's great that I noticed at Sweden Rock when I played there with them, and when I played there, of course, with Yngwie as well, was that there was all these generations of people coming through. And to go back to your original question, which was the first one, was that's why Tank should still continue, even though Algy can't do it. Should continue because there are people who love the music, who want to hear it, who are 11 years old and they don't want to listen to, you know, guys with backward hats on and things. You know, it's but you just want. Rock and roll music's always been underground, and it always will be. And as long as there are people that can come and see us, I will continue to do it. And I don't think it'll ever stop. I mean, look at the Maiden guys, man. They're bigger than they've ever been. You know, and better than they've ever been. You know, it's not as if they're going out there and pretending to do it. They go out there every night and they'll blow your bollocks off. You know, and that's what we want to do with Tank as well, is go out there. Some of the songs you might know, some of the songs you won't know, but you'll go away singing Judgment Day by the end of the night. We're here to entertain people. You know, we're not politicians. It's not going to, you know, coming to a Tank show or a Rata Blanca show or a whatever show you like. You know, it might change your life, but it's not going to change the world.